Y'all, we're making taco pie. Come on. Welcome to Highfalutin Low Carb, the almost weekly web series where we find and test the best low carb recipes this crazy internet has to offer. Today, we're tackling low carb keto taco pie. Stay tuned. All right, guys, keto taco pie. Sounds easy enough, but today I wanted to test two of the most popularly rated recipes online and find out which comes out on top. Our first contender is Keto Taco Pie. This is by the website howtothisandthat.com. And our second recipe is Keto Taco Casserole, and this is by the website curbingcarbs.com. As you know, all recipe links will be here on the screen and in the video description below. Now, before we begin, I need to give a huge thank you to the sponsor of this video, Green Chef. You know, I've worked with them for years, and I'm proud of our partnership together. Green Chef is a CCOF or a certified organic food meal service with meal plans to fit a variety of lifestyles, including keto, paleo, vegan, gluten-free, vegetarian, fast and fit, and Mediterranean. It's nice to have a fridge full of delicious meals that are ready to go. Now, the recipes are usually quick and easy, and there's a step-by-step instruction guide. You get a card with chef tips and photos to sort of guide you along the way. And what's nice is you really learn how to combine flavors and textures that you probably wouldn't have gotten otherwise, that you can then take and use in other dishes that aren't from Green Chef. So one of our favorite meals this week was the cumin spiced shrimp. This thing has roasted veggies, and then you top it with cotija cheese and this beautiful creamy chimichurri sauce that's already prepared for you and ready to go, and then the nice little toasted pepitas that are going on top. This thing was delicious, and I'm really kind of understanding now that I really enjoy their seafood options. What's nice is that these are all packaged and portioned out and ready to go, and often the sauces and seasonings are prepared for you already so that you can skip a step there and just get a meal on the table pretty quickly. So right now, Green Chef is offering a tremendous deal to you guys. If you'll go to greenchef.com and enter code Highfalutin130, you'll get $130 off and free shipping on your first box. So thank you, Green Chef, for sponsoring this video. It's sponsorships like yours that keep channels like mine on the air, and for that I am truly appreciative. All right, go check them out. Link is in the video below, description below. Let's go make some taco pie. Come on. All right, guys, let's get started on our first recipe. Again, this is Keto Taco Pie by the website howtothisandthat.com. All links are here on the screen. Now, as you see, this is a pretty standard, I guess you could say, taco filling mix, at least for us American folks. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this started. Brown the ground beef. I'm gonna speed this up so you don't have to watch, but I'm gonna brown this, and as soon as there's no pink left, I'm gonna drain it, and I'll be right back. All right, so easy enough. Our ground beef is been browned, and there is no remaining moisture or fat in the pan. We don't want that to go into the pie. I know a lot of us want to keep around the fat, but in this one instance, you don't want to. So here's what we're going to add to this. We're going to add a little bit of salsa, and be sure you find something that has no added sugar, the lowest carb version you can find. Also going to add in a little bit of minced garlic. And here's where you're gonna have to do some homework. We need taco seasoning. And so that either means you need to create your own, which I often do, or use a natural brand that doesn't have cornstarch and some other things. So that's what I was able to find here. I'll list what I use down below. And so in this goes, and now we're just gonna mix all this together, and we're gonna pour it in our pie pan. And this one actually is, I mean, taco pie is really just a generalized name for, you know, a Mexican-styled casserole, right? A Southwestern-styled casserole, perhaps, would be a better term. But gosh, this smells good already. So we have our seasoned taco meat. And now we're gonna just get a 9-inch pan, and we're gonna hit it with a little bit of avocado oil spray. Not much. I don't imagine it's gonna stick with all that ground beef, but she said to, so that's what we're gonna do. And spread our beef mixture in the pan without dumping it in the floor or throwing it all over the countertop. And now we're going to take these eggs over here, and I am told that we will not taste the eggs. I'm told that we will not taste the eggs. So add to this a little bit of either heavy cream or almond milk. I used the heavy cream because I was out of almond milk today. Oops. And we're gonna whisk that. This makes it light and fluffy and bind together. And we're gonna evenly and slowly just pour this over the ground beef mixture. Like so. Get that last egg good. I don't want to bite an egg in my taco. So slowly pour this over. Oh, it's thick. All right, and lastly, we're going to obviously top this with cheese, because what's a taco pie without cheese? And this is just a mixture of shredded cheddar and shredded mozzarella. Monterey Jack, sorry. Not mozzarella. So just a thin layer of this over the top. And I've got an oven preheated already to 350 degrees. And this is going to go in, cook for about 30 to 35 minutes, it says. And then you let it cool for a little bit before you try to slice into it. And we're going to see where we go from there. So in the oven this goes. I'm going to clean up, get switched around, and we'll bake this. And I'll be back here for our second recipe. See you in just a bit. All right, guys, so let's get started on our second recipe. The first one is still in the oven. If you hear the beep, that means it's ready. This is pretty similar. These are both pretty similar. This makes a larger serving, so there are more portions of each of the things. This also omits the cream and adds some other vegetables. So we're gonna do the same thing. We've got our ground beef in a pan. I'm gonna go ahead and get that started, and over medium-high heat, we're gonna brown this, but we're also gonna use a little bit of bell pepper. Not much. It looks like probably larger when I hold it up to the camera. This is a white onion, half of an onion, and I know people are going to always hear, "Oh no, your onions are high in sugar," and they are high in sugar. But it's important to remember that some people say, "Well, just use onion powder." There's no there are no carbs in onion powder. Well, just because it's not listed on the package doesn't mean that. Okay, this is also garlic, a little bit of finely minced garlic. But as we've mentioned before, just because you dry an onion and grind it into a powder and put it in a bottle doesn't mean you removed any carbs. At least in the United States, there are no labeling laws for spices. So you may think a tablespoon of onion powder doesn't have any carbs, but it's actually got about 6 to 8 carbs, depending on the brand and what kind of onions they used. So for me, I would rather just use a little bit of fresh onion to get the crunch and the flavor, and about the same amount of carbs. And this is going to make 12 servings, so it's important to remember that. So anyway, I'm just going to brown this. I'm going to speed it up so you don't have to watch it. I'm going to drain it, and we'll be right back. Okay, so our beef and our aromatics have done their job. I've drained it, and quite a bit of fat came off. I used 80-20 mix of ground beef, 80% protein and 20% fat. To this, we're going to add what she said was a packet of taco seasoning. Since I make my own or have a large bag of it, I didn't know how much was in a packet. Turns out it's about a little over 3 tablespoons. So this is the same seasoning we used in the other recipe. You're going to have to find one that you enjoy and just use that. So make sure you know what the ingredients are. You're not eating maltodextrin and sugar and cornstarch, which is generally the top 3 ingredients in any commercially available taco mix. She didn't say in the instructions, but I saw in her comment section, they asked her what size pan, and she said a 9x13. So I pulled out the old dirty purple pan. Remember, everybody used to think this pan, well, your pan is so dirty. No, it's purple. Oh, the other one's ready. Okay, hold on. Let me get this in the pan, and I got to be right back. Oh my gosh, y'all, it's just out of the oven, and it's so beautiful. I had to come show you before I started with the rest of this other recipe. So I'm going to put it on the back, and it needs to cool before we can tackle that. But ooga booga, that looks good. Okay, so we're back to our second recipe. And from here, we are going to take some eggs, beat them just a little bit. This is, she said, use a Mexican cheese blend. This is, you got to find one that doesn't have Mexican seasonings in it, because that's going to have some of the nasties that we want to. This is just a 4-cheese Mexican blend that's already pre-shredded. So you know me, I kind of cheat with the shredded cheeses sometimes. Okay, mix this with your eggs. And now evenly pour this over the top of this casserole. Let's come this way. Those are the thickest eggs. I ain't never seen an egg that thick. Okay, and then she wants us to stir this up because we got to make sure that there's cheese in between the ground beef. So I'm gonna mix this. I could have just done it in the pan and just dropped it in here, come to think of it. But you see how fast these are coming together, right? And my house smells so good right now from both of these. That one that just came out of the oven, and all this ground. I bet my neighbors think I've done started a taco truck in my apartment. Okay, so just make sure that you got the cheese so you get some in every bite. And we'll spread, get out of the way. We'll spread this out again. I guess you just want that to bake into a layer on top. This is our binder. And I'm curious how that holds up without the dairy. And then a lot more cheese. This is a good amount of cheese. And then again, this is gonna bake at the same temperature, 350 for about 25 to 30 minutes, she said. And then, so that's gonna go in the oven shortly. And then I'm gonna let them cool so I don't burn my face off. And we're gonna be back here and test both of these, and I'll see you back here in just a minute. All right, guys, so we are back. Both of our casseroles or taco pies are out of the oven, and look, I don't know what's so exciting about a beautiful casserole, but it just makes me happy. So this is our first recipe, the one here, the round one on the right. This is Keto Taco Pie by How To This and That. And this was the second recipe, Keto Taco Casserole by Curbing Carbs. So let's talk about nutritional value first of all. The first recipe, the round one in the pie pan, it makes 8 servings. So her nutritional information is calculated by that. The second one makes 12. So for this first recipe, Keto Taco Pie by How To This and That, if you make 8 servings, one serving is 374 calories. You've got 26 grams of total fat. You've got 5 grams of total carbohydrates. Fiber is 3 grams, so that's 2 grams of net carbs per serving. Now, the second recipe is Keto Taco Casserole. This is by the website CurbingCarbs.com. This makes 12 servings. If you make 12, one is 317 calories. You've got 21 grams of fat. You've got 27 grams of protein. You've got total carbs of 3 grams. Fiber, she says 0, but I don't know if that could be correct. So 3 grams of net carbs. I would think that the bell peppers would have a little bit of fiber, but we're going to go by the numbers she's published here. So more importantly, what does it taste like? Let's get into this. So let's try our first recipe, and this is the one I'm going to use for my thumbnail, I'm pretty sure, because it's called the taco pie battle. I want a slice of it that looks like a piece of pie. So let's see if I can manage to make that happen. So I'm going to cut directly across, and this is the one that had cream in it. You could also use almond milk. So what I don't want is for it to be like a quiche. I'm not looking for a quiche-y, you know what I mean? I mean, I like quiche, but when I'm eating tacos, I don't think about quiche. I don't want egg and cream, but we're gonna find out. So this is gonna be the sacrificial slice, as always happens with any pie that Wesley seems to make. Oh yeah, it held up pretty well. There's a lot of stuff in there. Let me try to get that out. Ooh la la. I want to make sure I get all my filling. So yeah, that is pretty. That is very pretty. As you can see, kind of thick. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and serve up the second recipe too. This is, I'm just going to use a spoon for this, and you would get 12 servings out of this. And I do love bell pepper. Oh, this held together very well too. I mean, the egg is necessary, right? You don't want just crumbled ground beef, you know, and this one just came out, so it's hotter than the other one. So let's taste our first one. The thing to this, you're gonna add toppings to this. Anything that you would enjoy personally on a taco, whether that's sour cream, black olives, fresh avocado slices, a little bit of tomatoes, some salsa, hot sauce, whatever it is. But just remember that those are not included in those macros. You're gonna have to add that, and it's gonna adjust your calories particularly, and probably your carbs and fat. So just be aware of that. So I'm not gonna add any toppings to it. I probably will for the thumbnail, but I just wanna see what the recipe was like. I was scared this was gonna have like a layer of It's very good. Feels like a taco, super cheesy. No hint of egg. If I had put a little bit of, you know, green onion and sour cream and some cool slices of avocado, that's pretty good. You saw how easy these were. This is a perfect weeknight meal. Okay, hold on, let me clear my palate. Okay, very good. Exactly what I would have expected from taco pie. Exactly what I would have expected. Okay, so let's try our second one. This is the Keto Taco Casserole, and this did not have the cream. It is hot, but it had a whole lot more cheese on it too, and just generally more ingredients all the way around because it just made a larger portion. Y'all, ate 2 more bites of that off camera because it was so good. Both of these are good. I do say that the little bit of texture and crunch from the onions and the bell pepper make this one my absolute favorite. And truth be told, as good as this was and as beautiful as it is, I mean, that's a great presentation. This is not so pretty, right? This held together just as well as that. I would skip the fat and calories from that heavy cream. I'm sure you could use the almond milk, but I don't know how. I used the optional heavy cream. She said use either or. But that's a half a cup of heavy cream, and that's a lot of calories. I think this held up just as well. Even if I did this, I might put this in a pan. But go make one of these. Go make one of these. They are fantastic. So yeah, Keto Taco Pie, all the way, man. These are fantastic. Easy, fast, quick weeknight meals. 30 minutes in the oven, maybe 5 to 10 minutes of prep, and you don't even have to think about it. Set it and forget it, as they used to say. So, all right, guys, thank you for watching. As I say every time, these videos are a way for me to maintain my low-carb way of eating, and looking in the end of that camera as often as I can helps keep me honest. So I appreciate you've come along for the journey. Be sure to hit the like button down below. It lets YouTube know that this is a quality content video and they should share it with other people. If you have not subscribed, I'm asking you to do so now. It doesn't cost you anything. Just hit the subscribe button. If you're already a subscriber, make sure you hit the bell button down below so that way you'll be notified as soon as I release a new video. I'm putting out 3 just this week alone, so get ready. If you haven't followed me on Facebook or Instagram, be sure to do that. I talk a little more frequently, a little more freely there, and can just a little easier to communicate. So follow me there. It's just Highfalutin Low Carb. I also need to give a huge thank you to the sponsor of this video again. It's greenchef.com. Use the code Highfalutin130. You're going to get $130 off plus free shipping on your first box. I say it all the time. Sponsorships aren't why I do this, they're how I do this. So Green Chef, thank you for that. And lastly, my rock stars, my Patreon members. You're gonna see their names start to scroll here. If you don't know what Patreon is, think of it like the tip jar for the internet. It allows people like you who enjoy what people like me do here on YouTube. You can give $1 or $2 a month just to sort of keep the train on the tracks, as it were. Without these people, none of this would be possible. So thank you so much for them. All right, guys, I love you. I'll see you very soon for another low carb video.